Hello and welcome back. Danger of an explosive civil war between the army and Baloch nationalists has been brewing now for decades in Pakistan's southwestern province of Balochistan. Since 1948, the Baloch nationalists have been demanding greater political rights, autonomy and control over their natural resources. The nationalists have led a number of insurgencies, which have been totally suppressed by the army. But the fear now is that any new insurgency can create a new Bangladesh. After all, it was the 1971 civil war that divided East Pakistan from West Pakistan to form Bangladesh. A big problem in Balochistan is the extreme level of poverty. And what fuels real resentment in that part of the world is that the Baloch people claim that they've been deprived of their share of gas royalties, despite producing over half of the country's gas. And they say that their region has been deliberately neglected by successive governments. Sal Ahmed has the story.
Balochistan. Discovery of gas here in the 50s has done little to improve the lives of its people. The federally appointed governor accepts some of the blame.
Since the Pakistan gained independence in 1947, this province did not get its fair share of attention as regards economic development. With the result that this has remained the most underdeveloped province of Pakistan. And in this respect, the population of Balochistan, whether Pashtun or Baloch or settlers, have a very genuine grievance that in spite of the fact that in 1954, when gas was discovered in this province, and this from the area of Sui, and this gas has generally supported the industrial and agriculture development of the entire country of Pakistan. This province did not get a fair amount of attention. In this, I would hold all governments of the past responsible, whether they were military governments or whether they were political governments.
Gas from this plant supplies a third of Pakistan. Sales in 2005 earned the government $1.5 billion.
All the revenue goes to the federal exchequer. Only the 12% is being donated to the provincial government. But actually, even from the 12%, the federal government owes billions of rupees to the Balochistan government. It is not being properly paid. Now we say now, we didn't say it at that time, but now we have to take every penny in account and say, no, this is the property of the people of Balochistan. The social problems that the people have are enormous, but they are lucky not to realize where the world has reached today. They think that this is their fait accompli. This is what they are born for. If you go into the details how they live, to have a piece of bread morning and evening without worrying much about it, how to bring it, is a luxury in this country. It's a luxury if somebody is not worried about that piece of bread only with nothing to add into it. He is supposed to be a so-called well-to-do man.
Your program is titled as People and Power. The real problem of Balochistan is people without power. People without power, people without rights, people without entitlement to their resources. Balochistan has suffered too many army operations. Balochistan has suffered too many dismissal of their governments. Balochistan's problem are the problem of Pakistan. Also, let me tell you that the right to be governed by their chosen representative of the people is the right recognized under the UN charters and UN Human Rights Charter, UN Declaration, Universal Declaration.
Free education is another right recognized by that charter. In a country that spends only 2 cents on every student annually, These girls are the lucky ones. They are able to study and live at Balochistan's only women's university, but they fear another problem.
Today or nowadays we are not satisfied and we are not protected. We don't feel protection in our societies. So that's why first priority we need for protection, then we need development. If we are not protected, so what is this development and what for they are developing the countries if members are not secure?
2006 saw a full-blown insurgency. An estimated 400 civilians died. Security forces used fighter jets and helicopter gunships against militants who routinely ambushed them and bombed gas pipelines.
They had about 2,000 to 2,500 militants in arms. They were equipped with very heavy armament. And when I say heavy armament, I'm not talking about Kalashnikovs and all that. That doesn't bother us. We are talking about anti-tank mines. We are talking about long-range rockets with ranges from 10 to 23 kilometers. We are talking about anti-aircraft machine guns. We are talking about anti-aircraft missiles, SAM missiles, shoulder-fired missiles also.
Sardar Mengal is not involved in the insurgency, but he defends its origins.
This is not terrorism. This is not terrorism. This is strictly the right of self-defense as far as these smaller and weaker communities are concerned. This has been accepted by all norms, international norms, even with the Palestinians, it was accepted. With Kashmiris, Pakistan has accepted it. So if that is the formula, let them go and apply it everywhere. This yardstick shouldn't confine itself only to us.
To add to the concerns of Balochistanis, their own tribal chiefs or sardars often violate their rights. Human rights campaigners say subjugation is the basis for a harsh tribal code. Stories of bonded labor and even torture in private prisons are prevalent.
It's obvious. The reasons for lack of development, lack of education, lack of medical facilities are totally, absolutely obvious. It's that to keep the people uninformed, to suppress the awareness, knowledge, and then once they have the knowledge, they might assert for their rights to ensure their subjugation. But not all sardars are like that. There are some, I will not generalize all sardars, there are some who are very progressive sardars also I know, who are not a friend of the establishment either, who are very progressive. And they are desirous of, but they have never been allowed to rule.
Despite these concerns, the governor remains optimistic, perhaps professionally optimistic.
Currently, about 213 billion rupees worth of projects are in place, in which the major focus is on the road infrastructure, on the spread of electricity, on the water sector, because Balochistan is in a semi-arid area and therefore water is acutely short, and we have to handle our water resources very well. So a major effort is being put in place by constructing small and large dams, many of which have been complete. It used to take 36 hours for a person from Gwadar to reach Karachi, whether for education, for health, that's going to a hospital or something. Today it takes 8 hours. There are buses, public transport operating on that. Today, the ordinary fisherman of Gwadar, who used to sell his fish catch at only 10 rupees a kilo to the large trawlers, today his catch is transported overnight to Karachi and he's selling it for 120, 140 rupees a kilo.
While the 30,000 people of this town light their stoves, the nearest gas field sits less than 100 miles away. But only 3% of the population here have gas connections. The governor says it would take another 5 to 8 years for the current development to show effect.
These people are losing any hope or light at the end of the tunnel. I want them to feel Pakistani. I want them to feel equal citizen with equal right. I want them to feel that they are the master of their own fate.
In a country not known for its political stability, this mastery could be a long time coming.
Sal Ahmed's report on the explosive mix in Pakistan's gas province of Balochistan. If you have any views you'd like to share with us, especially on Kenya, then as ever, we welcome your views on aljazeera.net/English. That's it for this program, and until next time, goodbye.